1964 got that Wembley feeling. This after a momentous FA Cup semi-final against Manchester United at Hillsborough.
Law performs a captain's first duty by winning the toss, and a crowd of 65,000 forget the conditions as the great semi-final begins. Manchester in white, though how long that will last remains to be seen. The Hammers outside left, John Sissons, is soon prominent, but it's the Manchester men who make the first real attack. West Ham goalkeeper Jim Stanton isn't troubled, and the Londoners look dangerous. Here's an escape for Manchester United. Best tries his luck, but fortune favours the West Ham defence. And in this first half, neither side scores. Manchester United kick off after the interval, and what a fine game it's turned out to be despite the ghastly conditions. West Ham are in top form, which means they're as good as any side in the country. If they keep up this pressure, they must get a goal soon. Their supporters don't have to wait long. Boyce scores the Hammers' first goal. On come West Ham again and win a corner. John Sissons places the kick well. Jack Burkett passes to Boyce, and it's goal 2 for the Hammers. Manchester United fight back in the way they've so often done in cup ties. Dennis Law's stimulating goal then put them back in the game. Inside left, Jeff Hurst clinches matters with West Ham's third goal. West Ham are jubilant. They'll meet Preston in the final.
And so on to that final against Preston.
Moore wins the toss. For Preston, Alex Dawson kicks off. Luckily for Preston, left-back Jim Smith is first to the ball, and the Northerners look dangerous. That stings the Londoners into retaliation. Inside left, Jeff Hurst is tackled by Tony Singleton. Kelly saves. Again, it's Preston with outside left Doug Holden menacing West Ham. There's no holding Preston, and after 9 minutes, Doug Holden puts the ball in the net. This is the time for West Ham to pull something out of the bag. A good pass finds John Sissons, and it's the equaliser. Back in the game, West Ham try again, but Jeff Hurst's header is well saved. Preston go all out to regain the lead. Standen concedes a corner. Wilson takes the kick. Centre forward, Alex Dawson heads a goal. Preston lead 2-1. Bring on the Guards band. West Ham kick off. A goal down, remember. It's a safe bet. They've had a pep talk during the interval. Anyway, they lose no time showing the fighting spirit that got them into the final. Outside right, Peter Braybrook is challenged by Jim Smith. Not quite successfully. A corner for West Ham. Braybrook's kick is just what the Hammers ordered. Centre half Ken Brown is there. Not quite on target. Jeff Hurst does better. And yes, sir, Alan Kelly just fails to keep the ball out. That all happened so quickly. Let's see just how West Ham scored the equaliser. Obviously time for West Ham to go into a huddle. Another corner for West Ham. And another escape for Preston. This looks like developing into a goal mouth scramble, which West Ham will do well to survive. Preston centre forward Alex Dawson finds Standen unbeatable. Jeff Hurst makes ground, then passes to Braybrook. A promising move. We'll follow it in slow motion. And almost in the last seconds of the game, West Ham inside right, Ronnie Boyce heads into the net. And this is just how it happened. West Ham's third goal, which won them the cup. Johnny Burns starts a one-man training session. Bobby Moore, captain of West Ham, captain of England, and at this moment, happy as any man alive, leads his men to receive the trophy and winner's medal. Lord Harwood represents the Queen. A lap of honour now by the 11 excited men who have won the most highly prized sporting trophy in the world. The general verdict, the best final for many a year.
Mind you, Ron Greenwood was soon back at the basics with the club's young players. And I wonder if you recognise the future star standing second from the right, a young Trevor Brooking. Ron Greenwood looking to the future, but within a year he'd taken West Ham back to Wembley for the final of the European Cup Winners' Cup against 1860 Munich of West Germany. And that was to prove a very special night.
Germans in thousands leavened the mass of West Ham supporters as the big game began, the Hammers kicking off. Every Londoner in the 100,000 crowd remembered manager Ron Greenwood's words. Getting to Wembley is nothing, the thing is to win there. Brave words, and 11 determined players began on the attack. Munich in white easily survived the early onslaught and went into the attack themselves. Back came the Hammers. A pass found inside left ear, but he was offside. A West Ham corner here, and a poor clearance gave them a second chance. Munich were rescued from danger by their star goalkeeper, Radenkovic. Neither side had scored at the interval. The visitors kicked off on the resumption and soon showed something of the skill that's brought them fame on the continent. Safe as a rock, Jim Standen was a tower of strength all through the match. West Ham played better and better as the game went on. Another attempt now by Brian Deere, not quite on target. A splendid chance now for West Ham. The ball went to Seeley. And he punched it home. Very well, of course. Now Munich took up the running, but without any luck. Long deferred reward came to the Hammers after 68 minutes. A pass from Boyce went to Seeley. This time it really was a goal. Deere was fouled by the goalkeeper. That meant a free kick for West Ham. Bobby Moore placed the kick well. And Seeley scored again. West Ham was still attacking when the whistle went for full time. What a night for West Ham as Bobby Moore received the trophy from the president of the European Union of Football Association. The whole country is proud of the Hammers, winners of the European Cup Winners' Cup.
The final was perfection, really. And all I said to somebody as I was walking off, I said, well, at long last, we've showed the rest of Europe that we can play like them, and that was my proudest moment, I felt, you know.
Around this time, things were happening at Upton Park as well. A few years earlier, the North Bank had got a roof, the West Stand was given an extra block, And soon, the dear old chicken run would be pulled down to be replaced by the East Stand. Bobby Moore, Geoff Hurst, Martin Peters returned to Upton Park as World Cup heroes at the start of the 1966-67 season, and rightly, they got a hero's welcome.
Peters scored one of the goals in the World Cup final. The captaincy of Bobby Moore was well nigh perfect, like his play. As for Geoff Hurst, well, he did the hat-trick.
Jimmy Greaves, who later came to West Ham from Spurs in a swap for Martin Peters, stayed only a short time. But Jimmy had his moments in a West Ham shirt.
Bobby Moore to pump it back again. Hurst looking to get underneath it. And does so. Greaves! Oh, Greaves! He's done it! Jimmy Greaves! The goal he wanted!
John Lyall in 1971 became Ron Greenwood's assistant. And here is a youthful Lyall with some schoolboy hopefuls.
Right the way over. Nice touch. Right the way over. Off you go, there and back.
Billy Bonds and Trevor Brooking had begun to fashion so much of West Ham's thinking on the field. First, Billy Bonds. This is an early goal, and it came in a 3-0 win at Crystal Palace in 1971, when young Addy Coker and the long-serving and popular Clyde Best were also Hammer's scorers.
Bobby Killard, right in that goal mouth there, the corner coming up and Bonds going for it. And Coker! He scored! The young lad, 17, playing in his first game, 7 minutes gone, and a rocket-like shot that gave Jackson no chance. What a start for him! Delighted! And there's Redknapp going in. What a terrible mistake there in the Palace defence, as Jackson and McCormick looked at each other, and Redknapp very nearly nipped in for what could have been a second and killer goal. Bonds now, letting one go. And again they looked and waited, and Robson was there very quickly. A nice little chip towards Billy Bonds, and he scored a second one. 2-0 Billy Bonds, and Crystal Palace defence was in ruins. Taylor doggedly trying to stay with Billy Bonds. Bonds a little cross, and Clyde Best to goal. Number 3, Clyde Best.
He was tremendous. He came as a right back, of course, and he grew in stature all the time he was at West Ham. He was a tremendous athlete, great standards on fitness, and he was a leader as well. But it was interesting, really, how the situation arose that he became captain, because Frank Lampard really should have been captain. But Frank when Bobby had gone to Fulham, you know, we'd sold Bobby to Fulham, Frank made a statement about the fact that he felt that he'd like to leave the club as well. And so consequently, after Bobby had gone, I felt that, well, you can't make somebody who wants to leave the club as well captain. So I made Billy captain, and that's how Billy became captain, really, in a default of Frank Lampard.
In that same season, there was a thrilling 3-3 draw against Derby County when Trevor Brooking made his mark.
Now Best, planting it again there, Hurst to leap for it, McDowell in there too, and Lampard hit, oh, a magnificent goal, Frank Lampard, that really was a Lampard special. He specialises in those volleys, and that was a volley of a lifetime. Over Webster's head and Hurst now. Best. Turning again for Robson with a shot. Carried, but a goal by Robson. 2-1 to West Ham. And so the young West Ham fullback taking it up now. Is Skipper outside him, Bobby Moore. Cross first time there towards Hurst at the far side, but again McFarlane's head was there. Brooking, still Brooking. Yes, Trevor Brooking. No mistake about that one. So little space there. And an abject Colin Bolton. Brooking, who looked to have no space at all, threaded his way past 3, turned himself clear, and then hammered in one that made no mistake.
He was a tremendous player, and such an assuming type of lad, really. Never really lauded it about his